All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would normally say good evening depending upon what time zone you are in. We are going to say good afternoon. This is a very special edition of the Giggity Get Down on Memorial Day special for everybody out there who's going to join in. Thank you very much. We have the one and only K Taddy, and I'm waiting on this one. As always, my Keystone Cowboy. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Giggity Get Down Memorial Day special. We talked about this last Get Down that we had on. We are going to try to do this a lot more often, keep everybody up to date. We've got a lot of good news, and we got a lot of stuff going on. Okay, Taddy, thanks for organizing this. Thanks for waking me up early this morning, but I'm excited to participate.
There's nothing more I want to do than bright and early in the morning, just wake you up. So, yeah, absolutely, this is a blast.
It makes my day because when I send chat invite, he FaceTime me. What do you want?
All right, guys. Taddy, what do you got on your mind today?
So, today's going to be a little informative. It is our Memorial Day special, so some of it is going to be league-based, some of it is just going to be simply, Memorial-based. We're waiting here to get a little bit of viewers. Once we have a few guys up in here, a few guys and gals wanting to watch and tuning in, we'll start the activities kind of more in the meantime. Just a rundown of what the Giggity Get Down is. We usually get on here, we explain what's happening in the league, what's new in the league. We actually have quite a bit to talk about this week, as this last week was championship week. Also, that means that this is our off week before we get into a new season. We went over a lot of the rules last Wednesday, and just a little bit more talking in depth about that. So that's what we're going for here today.
Keystone?
Yeah, I mean, we had the idea of, to get down for a while now, and obviously we haven't done as many of them as, we've wanted to. It's hard, running 7 days a week. It's hard to, find time to throw it in here. But, as we talked about the schedule, being down to the, just 3 days a week. Well, 4, including developmental.
5. Is it still third on Tuesday?
Tuesday. All right.
We're dropping weekends. We're dropping weekends, guys.
So we should have, at least a couple free days to do this more often. So looking forward to it.
You say just as much as our boy Trace is. You know what to say there. You know what he says. You say
like I said,
like I said, yeah, exactly.
Like I said, man. Speaking of Trey, actually, on Memorial Day, Trey raced his final race last night with Giggity Racing League. Kudos to him. He didn't get the W, but he did. His teammate, and so his last day as a captain, last day as a driver here in Giggity Racing League. It's kind of cool to see that Tackleberry did get the win, and because of that, the final win of the season goes to Team Hit, Trey's Motorsports there. So that was pretty nice and pretty interesting.
It was.
It was a good race last night too. It was a very good race.
Oh crap! That means my job starts today.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little later. So it is early.
Oh, hello. Robbie says hello, sunshine. Yeah, he's one of those people who likes calling me at 7:30 in the morning, our time.
Well, remember, it's different for his time, though.
Oh, I know, but he loves doing that just to upset me, too, because everybody knows how much I love mornings, but no. Go ahead, guys.
All right, so we were going to wait for a few more people. However, I'm going to assume that people are going to watch this all back. So let's go ahead and Puddin', this is your key. Let's go ahead and start our activities. Guys and ladies at home, please stay tuned. We're going to start off here with our national anthem.
On
All right,
that
guys.
note, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah. Real quick, guys. Now that we're done with that, one other thing that we'd like to do. This is Memorial Day. Um,
And,
for a quick second, I know that y'all know the number 21 and how important that is to military branch. We're going to go ahead, guys, and for 21 seconds, we're going to do absolute silence here on air. So please stay tuned, guys, and we'll be back with you in 21 seconds. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty neat to do something like that. Again, I don't know how much y'all know necessarily about the military, but the 21 is a very significant number. Anyways, regardless, we're going to go back into our conversation. So I spoke about last season, or last week was the championship week of season 4. Yes, Giggity has now made it 4 full seasons. We're getting ready to go into 4.5. We're going to call it 4.5 simply because um, it's just going to be a mini 8-week season before Heat 5 comes out. Let everybody have one last run at a championship on Heat 4. But at the same time, Heat 5 comes out in about 6 to 8 weeks now. So that also gives people a couple weeks of being able to work on some setups before we get into league racing on Heat 5. So with that said, let's go over a few of our champions. We'll start with our truck series. Um, Monster Racing 23, he's our truck
mm-hmm.
champion. Raced for Team Canucks, signed by Mills. Arkham, I believe, finished out the season as their captainship. Either way, the two Canadians, that's why they were Team Canucks. The driver of the 46, the only paint scheme in the game that has a Canadian maple leaf on it, and he brings it to the championship. Congratulations to him. Over to you, Keystone.
Yeah, there for a minute, it looked like it was going to be. I mean, it was a tight battle for the truck championship all year long. I mean, because you had multiple drivers winning multiple races, so they were definitely, making their mark, putting their name, at the front, with everybody else. Because you had Monster, you had Just Ken, you had Money. So I mean, it was definitely a hard fought battle between the three of them.
We'll talk later there, fart face.
Uh,
Keystone, real quick, I suggested a driver for you to, or a person to accept
I
you.
got it. There and he is eligible.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a few minutes before he gets on, but if you wanted
Oh,
to.
sure. Yes, I mean, just, the consistency of those drivers. I don't believe Monster won as many as, say, Just Ken did, but just the consistent finishes kept him up front in the points. So, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, he did a heck of a job.
You used a word right there, consistency. Making every race, showing up, being there.
Hmm.
It doesn't always mean a W gets you a championship, but no, Monster definitely put on one heck of a show, as everybody did in the. It was a little rough at the beginning of the year. I only know that because one of the first things I even told you, I went flying through there at Daytona. I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt. But those guys really came around. They came into their own, and they showed us why they wanted to be in the draft and work their way up. And congratulations to him. And Monster did get signed by Cola Motorsports too. We're excited to have him over there. But those truck guys, there's something about driving them bricks that is just so much fun.
Yeah,
Speaking
real quick,
of speaking of the devil,
while we're talking about Monster here, real quick, Monster actually finished the season in the Truck Series. He had one win, 9 top fives, tied with only Just Ken with the amount of top fives. And in the top tens, Monster ended up with 10 top tens, one behind Jay Milla, who had 11, but definitely Mr. Consistent. The wins weren't there, but finishing in the top 5, top 10. He racked up a great season. Just Ken and Jay Milla, big shout out to them. Those guys were up there. They were in the points battle all season long. Unfortunately for Just Ken, he missed a race late in the season, where I think he probably would have wrapped it up himself, but that race that he missed definitely put these other guys in the running. And
Yep.
Monster finished out strong and was able to get that title. So again, congratulations to you, Monster Racing.
And welcome aboard, Mr. Cola.
What's up, guys?
never heard
What's
of
up,
her.
Buttercup? Pepsi Motorsports just joined us. Sorry. So as we keep going here with our champions, I kind of did that out of order. My bad on that. We wanted to get to our development champion, which was Elite Precision. He's a signed driver, guys. They only had an 8-week season as they started at the halfway point. Elite showed up, I had never heard of this guy beforehand. And him and his brother WRX Mike, they both showed up and showed out. These guys were top five
Mm-hmm.
cars consistently. Both put in a bunch of top five finishes as well as a couple wins. I mean, right out the gate, they went to Eldora, and those two guys were top two drivers the whole night. Over to you, Cola. What do you know about those two? All right, good talking to you, bud.
Yeah, Cola
Anyways,
Motorsports
yeah,
of all things, they did sign Elite Precision.
yeah, that's why I went over to him. He just
Yeah.
didn't want to talk about him, I guess.
He don't want to
Yeah,
give away his secrets.
No, and
he's still
Eldora
not
too
on.
is one of those unique.
Cola's been having some microphone issues we noticed yesterday while we were playing Call of Duty, so we'll have to forgive him for that.
And
Okay.
yeah, Eldora for the truck guys is one of those unique races, K-Taddy. You know, it's a one-off. They do it one time a year. It's on a Wednesday night. And to watch NASCAR sanctioning body
The
go
Mud
back,
Summer Classic.
yeah, to go back to Tony Stewart's track who he owns, it is so much fun. And they run it like you guys here in Giggity Racing do on a Tuesday night for their dirt series. They run the heat races. They do everything like that. It was a good race. And yeah, WRX and Elite Precision, they like you said, they showed up. You know, it's either
Yeah,
show
yeah,
up or ship out, and they they definitely showed up.
Yeah, so,
All right, you got your
all
ears
right.
on, Cola?
Yeah.
There we go.
I have my ears on the whole time. It's just every now and then my mic will glitch out and I can't talk.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, back over to you, Cola. You signed Elite Precision. He was the champion of the development series. Is that what turned you in? Is just the fact that he got the title, or do you see his driving out there? What got you really excited?
Well, I really didn't, like pay attention to like a whole lot of it. I didn't know the guy, to be honest with you. I was going for people that I knew and just trying to keep everybody together. Well, there are a few people on my team that was like, hey, get this guy. He's like, well, I'll look into him, and when I looked into him, I knew it was a solid pick, and I went from there.
yeah, talk about missing the phone call from the boss. He called me real quick, and I was taking care of something. He called me, but no, it was a great decision on Cole's Motor to do that. But everybody in the development series, probably some of the best racing I have seen all year long came from development.
You know, and I have to say, as a CEO, that those fellas, ladies and gentlemen, that race in the development series, they 100% did exactly as asked. Now, to anybody out there that doesn't really know necessarily a lot about our development, what I like to do is we open up Giggity Racing League to anybody that wants to race. Anybody that has Heat 4 on the PlayStation side, you want to race, come to me, get a hold of me. We do still look for respectful driving. And I explain that to all the people. They contact me, which is K-Taddy, and I just tell them, I say, look, wins are not important. Racing clean. I mean, everybody wants to win. Don't get me wrong. There is a point system, but what the captains are looking for is not necessarily who gets the victory. It doesn't matter necessarily who wins the points championship. That is great and that's awesome, but we're looking for clean driving, consistency. We're looking for getting on and
Ones
off
who are
pit
going to
road.
show up every night.
Yeah, getting on and off pit road. Do you guys use the backstretch instead of coming up on the track and causing a wreck? And Elite Precision, WRX Mike. There's a guy, Renegade, out there. There's a little bit off. He had a great showing at Talladega the other week.
Roughneck Outlaw in the development, he got picked up.
Yeah.
Another great driver.
These guys, they did, and not just them. I don't want to limit to just the people that were signed. There's some people that
Oh,
aren't
yeah, there's
signed.
too many names to
Yeah,
name
I
off. I mean,
You're talking, we got 17, 18 people in customs for this coming season, 17, 18 people in the presets. We're looking at 40, 50 drivers just sitting in our development pool right now, on top of, the 100 drivers that have been signed. I mean, it's amazing that the talent that they have, and when you just tell them, hey, look, this is what we expect, and when I say that, if they don't give us what we expect, and they go out there and people are starting to wreck people or something, we boot them, you're gone, and that racing, these guys did exactly that. If they got pushed back and something happened, instead of trying to get up there and cause an issue with the other people, they continued to run their race, try picking up a few positions, but either way, a few backouts here and there, but for the most part, the guys the guys and gals continued to race, and it was really enjoyable and some of the best racing in all of Giggity Racing League these last 8 weeks.
And Cola Motorsports out there just got a shout out from Serenity. He said, "Grr, I wanted to pick up Elites, but so
He's not the only one. We can promise you that.
I know of about 3 people that I picked up that literally disrupted everybody's draft picks.
Yes, especially ours. So thank you.
All right, guys, as we move on here, we had preset Xfinity, right? So we've gone over the development, we've gone over the trucks, which big other thing on the development side, to anybody that didn't know, we actually run all 3 series there. It was presets only this last season, but this next season we're going to have presets and custom. But they run the trucks, Xfinity and Cup, so Elite didn't just, show out and whatever on one typical vehicle. He used all 3 in one races, so again, kudos. As we move on, we're at the preset Xfinity part of this championship rundown, and Bad For You Racing. He's been with Giggity since basically the very beginning. I think he missed half of season 1 and then he joined. But this is his first championship. With that said, it was also his first year he wasn't racing against Jake Drew. So congratulations to Bad For You, 100% in the 00 car for RJ Motorsports. He got them a title. Let me find his stats real quick. I haven't done the stats for this past Saturday yet, so.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see. If I creeped into the top 10, missing the first 5 races. Well, thanks for your vote of confidence, buddy.
I mean, I was gone all weekend, so sorry about that, guys. I will get with it. But prior to this last weekend,
you're allowed to have a life and go out and have fun. It's okay.
The preset Xfinity series, right? So, Bad For You's champion. 1 win. Again, I don't know who won this past Saturday. I don't think he did, but 1 win prior. 8 top 5s. He led the whole league, the whole series in top 5s, and he ended with 11 top 10s. Also led the series in top 10. So, same as we were talking about with consistency. Yeah, you don't have to be the guy winning every race. I mean, it's nice to get those W's, but you don't have to be. And so he definitely showed out in the top 5s and top 10s, and those points add up. And he actually pretty well had it locked before they ever even started the race on Saturday. So big shout out to him. Over to you, putting a little something about Bad For You, as you raced against him most of the season.
Bad For You is just bad fast. That's all there is to it. He's a great guy. I've talked to him online, talked to him offline. He is well-deserved champion, and he's very humble about it. It's unfortunate because the way we are switching things up, his weekend schedule, that's when he can race. So we're going to see how that pans out for him next year. We'll get later into the Giggity get down here. We're going to talk about more about what we do on the weekends. But no, very humble, very honorable, and at the same time super fast and very clean. Always an honor to race with him, and I can't wait to see what's coming up for him next, in his future. To put your stamp on Giggity Racing to say you're a champion. Very few people have done that. He can now do that.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, Paul Bear's correct out there in the YouTube Nation. Fast Camaro is the one that won. That's his first debut in the league, so big shout out to Fast Camaro on this last Saturday. But back to Bad For You. Again, he's one of the guys that he's been with us since the very get-go. This is a little unfortunate. He's a weekend driver. That's why he was running the preset Xfinity instead of the custom Xfinity. He feels a little let down as Giggity is going to no weekends for point racing this coming season. However, that is going to keep him eligible for any benefit race and or special occasion races. I don't want to get into right now what those are going to be. But definitely some fun stuff we're going to be doing on the weekends that you will see him on the track still for Giggity Racing League. So always glad to have you out on the track, and he's definitely a very, very good representative of what we're looking for out of drivers here at Giggity Racing League. So big shout out to you again one last time there, Bad For You.
Oh, yeah.
Now as we switch over...
History is being made today, guys, as we're getting ready to do the Memorial Madness, which we will talk about later. I will be in a Ford. History is being made today. I can see what custom paint schemes I have. I'm just saying, you guys limited me to that, but...
So as we continue on, the lady side still, we're on the custom end. Champion.
Yes.
Possibly by default, as some issues happened with Sir El Parco, and he was parked the final week. But we're not going to get into what happened there, but champion for the custom Xfinity side, UK Wildcats, number 23, Team Noco. How many times can you see Team Noco winning titles?
We're going to have to
Cola's
start
probably not.
doing a little bit more thorough inspections on the cars.
Yeah,
I think we've let it slip this season.
I
Bet they
mean,
got
they've got
nitrous
to
hidden.
be at this point. They've got to be running the Titans 9080 while everyone else has still only got Titans 4. I mean, the team is crazy good. Custom setups, you would expect nothing different than to see the Noco Cola team being the top two, and again El Blanco. Unfortunate events there, but those two teams dominated. Those guys did very well. Exactly what you would expect. Cola is one of the top premier custom setup guys. Noco also one of the top premier custom setup guys. So you put custom setups with those two captains, you give them to an Xfinity driver, and you expect to see that title. But UK Wildcats, the driver, drove the wheels off that car all season, did amazing.
Yes, he did.
With it being an affiliate, let's go over to you for that one, Cola. Give a quick talk about Sir UK Wildcats. Okay, good talking. Back over to you, Puddin'.
He's still dealing with some
I raced with him. I raced with him all season. I know for a fact he was a fast driver. He was hard to pass. I don't think there was a race all season that he did not lead a lap at and was up front, battling for a win.
It's UK.
He's just a heck of a driver.
That's all there is to it.
Know.
It's just UK. That's all you can say. It's just UK exclamation point.
Now the only issue I have is one, him being on Team Nutco, yeah. Plus being from Tennessee, being a volunteer, the whole Wildcats thing, man. We're going to have to talk about that, but see if we can find you another name.
James Yarger out there wants to know how everybody's doing in YouTube land. Thanks for joining again, James. We've been seeing his name out there in YouTube land a lot, and we got Cola back. Cola, you were asked a question real quick. Being affiliated with NOCO and UK winning that championship, what were your thoughts and opinions on how UK did this season?
Oh, I knew whenever UK wasn't a custom Xfinity, I know he was going to be a tough obstacle to surpass. I raced with him. I think it was 2 seasons ago when I first joined Giggity in the trucks, and he was hard to beat. I finished second place to him 5 times in a row. I know how it feels.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you bring that up. So, on the stat aspect for UK Wildcats, this is his first championship in the Xfinity Series, but it is not his first championship in Giggity. He was the Truck Series champion
didn't you?
last season, moved up properly, came to the Xfinity Series, skipped the presets. He likes the custom, so he went to the custom side of it, gets the championship there, proved that he belongs. Unlike the other the other drivers that we were talking about, Wildcats did lead the series in wins. He ended up with 4 wins. Top 5s, he actually did not lead it. El Blanco did. Well, they tied. Now they had 8 apiece, and then in the top 10s,
more than that.
No, top 5s. You had
top 10s.
Top 5s.
10s. Sorry.
Yeah, top 5s. You had 6 for the top 5s. They tied with 8. You're actually third on the list with 6. And then in the top 10s, Keystone, you had 10 top 10s. Wildcats actually, if he wasn't in the top 5, he wasn't in the top 10. He got the exact same amount of top 5s as he did top 10s.
Then again,
so that's one of those. That's actually the opposite of consistency. So in the top 10 aspect, El Blanco, Broom, Keystone, Pottles, Doucette, Angel, and G9 all beat Wildcats in top 10s. But that's one of those, winning those races and being there every week will definitely put you in the same aspect, as there is a big point gap between first and second place. So
And real quick, let's give a big shout out to Pottles too. Got herself a W this year at Dover. I remember specifically G9 Gamer.
3 wide at the finish.
Closest Giggity finish I've ever seen. As everybody knows, I might commentate or broadcast a couple of these things. Closest one in history, and she pulled it out. She prevailed, so great shout out to her too.
And I cannot wait to have her on my team next season.
Also, she'll be returning to run in the same series. She's going to be Custom Xfinity next season as well. So, with that said, UK Wildcats, we talked about how he moved up from trucks into Xfinity, and this title is letting him move up even farther, as he's going to be headed to I think he's headed to Custom Cup next season.
I think he is.
Don't quote me on that. He might be Preset Cup, but either way, he's going to the Cup Series. So
Little man.
He's moving up the ranks, and he's moved up quick.
Little man's out there in YouTube land. Sorry. See these
What's
guys
up,
out there. We
Bobby?
got 9 viewers. Yeah, but yeah, we got a lot of people out there joining in. A lot of wishes for a very good Memorial Day again. Thank you to all of the veterans out there, and thank you to the one who has given it, everybody who's given us our ultimate sacrifice. We will get up with that. We'll keep going. We have an agenda, and I'm tending to jump off of that agenda, but we do have one, Daddy.
You always
Uh,
do.
I'm surprised you actually found his comment out there. Little man's comments usually tend to come up a little short, hard to find.
No, he didn't.
Ooh, good one. I'm gonna have to remember that. Ouch.
Continuing on here, as we continue through our champions, we have the next champion in mind. We're going to go to the Preset Cup. Another Team NOCO driver. Man, can this guy do any type of league racing without winning a title? 00 Team NOCO, Jake Giroux. I don't even know what to say about him at this time, other than he's just like a NOCO in the lower series. If
Titans.
he's in the race, expect him to be at first.
Titans.
Well, I can't really say the Titans for him because he won the custom and preset Xfinity last season. So
I had to give him a little bit of grief, but no, go ahead, Boomer. Jake is he's very humble at it too. He puts a lot of time and dedication into what he does.
And he's just a class act guy. He's funny. He'll, be sitting here trying to race. He's in there making jokes. And, so I think that's his strategy. He tries to make people laugh so they mess up so he gets his lead bigger and bigger.
Yeah, so Jake, one of the cool things I like to say about him, and not a lot of people know this, behind the scenes, Jake comes to me almost on a weekly basis. After the race is over, he gets on, he watches the broadcast, which is great. That's what we want people to do. That's why we do it. He tells me, he says, hey man, that was a good broadcast. That was real funny. He'll let me know, hey, the broadcast was a little laggy. The people weren't on subject, stuff like that. But he gives us good feedback.
Good.
That happens a lot. I get off topic. Sorry.
As well as he gets on to, helps out with good ideas, great ideas, like, hey, maybe we should try this, maybe we should try that, stuff that we venture into. So not only is Jake a great driver and a good personality on and off the track, but he's also somebody that helps the improvement of this league very well.
Our All-Star race this season, the random draw, the average finish, for the final race, all that stuff, that was actually all his idea. He said it to me, and I brought it to Taddy. Taddy was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So, once again,
yeah, he's always looking for ways to improve the league. And that says a lot, not just being a driver out there winning races and stuff, but he's also somebody that definitely helps move this league in the right direction.
Are you doing dishes during the Giggity Get Down?
Making a coffee, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Michael Morgan out there, James Yarder again.
Happy life, happy life.
Yeah, right.
So as we run down the stats for the Cup preset, this is Jake's first title. Again, I don't have last night's race put into the stat sheet.
Not his first title. It's his third title.
Not in the preset Cup series. This is his first title. He did win both Xfinity Series championships last season. That puts Jake at 4 wins on the season. Talk about consistency and domination. He led the series in wins with 4. He led the series in top 5s with 11. I'm sure that's 12 after last night. Again, I haven't put the stats. And top 10s, he led the series with 12. In the top 5s, he only led by 4 top 5s better than the guy in second. And
only 4.
In the top 10s, he had 5 more top 10s than anybody else behind him. So, consistency and straight domination is what gave Jake Giroux the title, and that is not to be unexpected from him.
No, not at all.
And it was no surprise too that Team NOCO kept him on board over there, because him and UK definitely would have got snagged first round, first pick if that didn't happen. So NOCO again, and I had to give him a little grief. Since he won another championship last night, he got to push the golden broom around the NOCO racing facility last night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as we continue on here, not to cut it short, but we do have an agenda, a little bit to get through. We've already been on air about 30 minutes, so we got to keep pushing forward.
Oh,
the next champion and final champion. Unlike the last couple, this is not a NOCO driver. However, he started with Team NOCO, so I guess you could say he kind of was. Ended the season strong.
A NOCO protege.
As my one and only as a team captain, the one and only championship that I've ever received as a champion, or as a team owner, is Wicked Gatekeeper in the number 6. Roush Fenway Ford takes home the title for the Custom Cup Series.
And I'm glad you said that too, because when you say Wicked, You affiliate at number 42. There was a change throughout the year. He made the change, manufacturers. He changed teams and still prevailed at the end of the year. Too. So, congratulations
Changed
to him.
teams
And the Wicked,
twice.
Wicked puts in a lot of time too, guys.
Yeah, Wicked actually was on 3 teams this season. He never actually raced with one of them, but he was on 3 teams as he was traded from NOCO to the Canucks. And before he got to race as a Canuck, he was signed to the Underdogs. Traded for Private Patton, who came out and ended up getting a couple victories in the Custom Cup Series.
Yep.
And Custom
I
Cup
think that
was
was a pretty
on
good
Wednesday
trade
nights,
both
guys.
ways.
They've had some great races this year. Barn burners.
Yeah, and we do look at Custom Cup as our
Elite.
top
Elite,
tier,
our
top tier
premier.
series. Yes. And the last 2 seasons prior to this, and I don't want to take him out of any conversation here, Noko was the champion 2 times in a row in our Custom Cup Series. Then you have a driver that starts on Team Noko. He traded him away. The guy still ends up as a champion. So I mean, still Noko has his print on that championship. Unfortunately, he didn't get it for his team. It went to the Underdogs. But absolutely amazing job by Wicked Gatekeeper all season long. There's not really enough I can even talk about him. He's another one of those pretty quiet, pretty mellow behind the scenes. He does privately message with some discrepancies that, he gets a little upset with people just as everyone else does. But definitely one
Show
of
his
the
temper.
absolutely definitely one of the top people. Now, one thing I do want to mention, and this is going to be the biggest upset or difference in stats than any other driver had in the league this season that's a champion. Wicked Gatekeeper did not win a race.
Unfortunately for him, no, he was in contention in a
pulled a
lot of the
Matt
races.
Crafton.
But what Boomhauer brought up earlier, excuse me, Keystone, that consistency word. He was definitely there, had some chances. There were some things that came up a little short for him. But it's not always about how many W's you get to get the championship. It's about getting a big C instead of that big W.
Yeah, something that's kind of neat though, right? So as I go through these stats, these ones are completely updated. It was a 16-week season, okay? The most wins by one driver was when Fluffy started the season out. He dominated the first 3 races, won all 3 of them. That's the most wins that anybody had was those 3. Then we had 12 different drivers win races in a 16-week season. So there's definitely a lot of different people winning in that series. That just goes to show how hard it is to actually win. Not one person can really come in and dominate unless you're Fluffy, who then walks away. Top 5,
Mic drop.
right? Top 5s, and this is updated. Noko led the series in top 5s, but he did miss 2 races, so he had 8 top 5s. But even with that, he's only able to get in the top 5 for half of the season. That's it. Not even double digits like we're seeing elsewhere. Top 10s, however, Wicked Gatekeeper, and this is why he's your champion. 13 out of 16 races he finished in the top 10.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Second to that was Noko and myself, Taddy. We tied with 11, so Wicked had 2 more than us, but that also goes to show why myself and Noko were second and third in the points at the end of it. Some of these guys missed a few races and stuff like that, and we had, in total, if you include the drivers that dashed their way in this season, we had a total of 42 different drivers in the Custom Cup Series race this season.
It's a lot of drivers.
That's what I have for stats in the top 10s. That's not even including the people that raced that may have dashed their way in and were unable to get a top 10. That's just statistically, that's just the drivers that got top 10. 42 drivers.
And with that, real quick too, look what K Taddy is doing, guys. Everybody out there, we're up to 487 subscribers, over 200 plus drivers. Thank your administrators, thank your team captains. He has told me personally that even at work, on his lunch break, he's updating points, he's keeping stats and everything. That's how dedicated the administrators and the captains are to here in Giggity Racing. That's why it's really important to get a win, and that's why we all love being here too. Again, I thank you guys enough for being. You guys are a family out there, but thank you for what you do,
I
Taddy.
can't tell you how much me and Taddy talk when we're both at work trying to figure out, okay, how do we handle this? How do we go about this? Just on and on and on. And it's a lot of time and effort, man.
That's how much Giggity
Really?
is to everybody, though. It's so much fun, though, and I've had a
real
lot of
quick
fun
up there.
here last year.
Go
In
ahead.
the YouTube Nation, Noko states that he underperformed for him. Noko, you ended 1 race out of the points title. About points wise, that's about what you missed. in being able to be the champion was about 1 race worth of points. However, you missed 2 races, so underperformed for you. I believe that's
Understatement.
no, that's I mean that's just fake news. I think that's an outgo that we say fake news with, right? Because you performed great, man. You just missing those 2 races in that point system. It's really designed for being there every week, paying off, and that's what panned out for Wicked there. So, Noko, you did an amazing job as always. You're kind of like the intimidator here of the Giggity Racing League. So, big shout out to Noko, man. Anytime he's in a race, you got to look out for that notorious number 1.
Notorious. Well, actually, it's going to be
It's going to be the notorious black number 4 next season. So,
The can for car.
yeah. All right, guys. So as we move on,
Hey, Fast Camaro, great to see you out there, buddy. Congratulations on your win the other night. Go ahead, sorry. We're up to 13 viewers.
That's it for our championship talk. Next talk is I want to go over. We do have season 4.5 coming up. We have an 8-week schedule. That is it. That 8-week schedule was broken up into 2 super speedways, 2 short tracks, 2 road courses, and 2 kind of intermediate tracks. So let's start with why we picked these tracks. Are they a little easier than some of the others? Yes, they are, absolutely. But as captains, we're trying to, when I say as captains, I'm no longer a captain, but what we're trying to do here is we're trying to figure out and make sure that the people that were drafted and put into a series belong there. So, of course, we have Daytona and Talladega. Those are the 2 super speedways that we picked. They're really, other than Indianapolis, I guess that's a super speedway.
Michigan Auto Club.
Yeah, I mean, these ones are your main 2. And so Daytona and Talladega, the purpose of those being on there is not necessarily to see who can go fast and turn left. We're trying to get people
Drafting.
as your new teammate, drafting with your teammates, getting used to your teammate, who's the faster, who's a better pusher, getting in line with pit strategies, working together, because without pitting together as a team, you're in a lot of trouble with these draft tracks. And not just super speedways, any of the draft tracks. We're talking Atlanta, Chicago, any of those types of tracks or draft tracks, and you really need some help to go faster. So that's why we have tracks like Daytona and Talladega. Let's go over to you, Puddin', Mr. Road Course himself. Explain why Canadian Tire and Watkins Glen would be the 2 road courses picked.
Watkins Glen, everybody's been there, everybody knows those. It is a very familiar track. Not necessarily easy, but difficult at the same time as going up to the S's. You do not want to go too wide there, so a lot of captains out there are going to take a look at that. And then going into that bus stop to your braking zones where everybody else is going to brake into it too. So of the road courses, they are difficult, but a lot more familiar to everybody out there. Some of the Sonomas, Rovals, or one of my favorites, Road America, too. Not a lot of people are familiar with that, so they would, with the 2 most familiar tracks out there. Mid-Ohio. Take a shot, Money Mike. These guys out there are going to keep an eye on what's going on. So they are familiar tracks. They are wide. They're fast. They are technical at the same time. So I keep an eye on everybody right there. And I was going to bring this up to Boomhauer. You just brought it up, too. Not being a captain. What are you specifically looking for as a new captain on this 4.5 series?
Honestly, man, it's just, we've gone over it, just consistency, showing up, running the races, not trying to do too much. Working well with the team. Hence the reason, we've got the whole mini, 8-week series, trying to figure out who runs best with who.
Things can still be changed, correct? So
yes, they can.
Yeah, that's the point of this here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Just because you might be in custom cup, custom truck, preset Xfinity, etc.
Don't mean you're going to finish
let's on the Keystone being a captain. Let's hold off on what he's looking for right now.
10-4?
Yeah.
Let's continue with the tracks here. So the other thing, real quick, with the road courses is Watkins Glen and Canadian Tire. There are parts of that track that are notorious for cutting the grass to go faster.
Yes.
And,
Dark Knight, Canadian Tire.
I mean,
he owns a lawnmowing company up there.
Shut up.
There's Canadian Tire. There's a few corners that you can turn and you can cut the grass. Lawnmower service, like people have been penalized in the past. These drivers that are going to get into these road courses and cut those corners are probably going to get dropped for their team if they do it on a consistent lap. Now, we know there's missing your line and that puts you through the grass, stuff like that, but doing it every lap, probably going to get you dropped from a team, put you back in development. Continuing on here, we have Chicago and Auto Club for our intermediate type tracks. Cola, do you have a copy right now?
Yeah.
All right, you go over Chicago and Auto Club, why those tracks are really important for being able to see what a driver can do on these intermediate style tracks?
Well, those two type of tracks, we look for the dive bombs and just overdriving the corner there. Chicago is very notorious for dive bombs. It's happened to me several times, and I've done it several times, so I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, real quick, to explain what a dive bomb is, in case somebody out there doesn't understand the concept of a dive bomb, you may even have been accused of it and had no idea you were doing it. When you're entering the corner, you're drafting with somebody, and you decide to turn hard left way too soon and keep it wide open. Some tracks like Kansas will have a slide job. That's a difference. This isn't a slide job. This is you're diving in hard. You're getting your car to that apron, and you know your car won't stick, and it's causing you to slide up and hit the guy outside of you. That is a dive bomb. Go ahead, Cola, and continue.
But yeah, that's really the main thing we look for. And don't get me wrong, they're super fast tracks, but we want clean racing, just no dive bombs and stuff like that. Especially Auto Club, that track, if you can get together, have some good fun racing, it is a blast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Another thing about Auto Club is it's a really bumpy track that'll offset the car. So as people are even on a straightaway, you try to make like a quick little turn to go underneath someone or go above them to make a pass, and you might spin out and go head on into the wall in the meantime. Okay, continuing on, last two tracks. So we have to talk about the short track type style racing. We have Dover and Iowa on the list for the 8-week mini season.
I love our 4.5 schedule. Why can't we make this a permanent schedule throughout the year? Love every track here.
All of these tracks will be raced at in the upper series. But so Dover and Iowa, I let Keystone go over super speedways. Puddin', you did road courses. Cola did the intermediates. Dover and Iowa, okay? Short tracks are notorious for people driving their line and moving the guy in front of them out of their way. Iowa is a multi-groove racetrack, but you can't get on the seam or you'll spin yourself out. So who can control that? If guy's going low and you want to pass him to the high side, do you go right above him? Do you go way to the top? Or do you hit that seam and spin yourself out? Dover, a little bit different. It's really a one-groove type racetrack. You don't want to get pushed to the outside, but it is also a momentum. You don't want to get too low and catch the apron, but you don't want to be too high that somebody can get underneath you. So do you move them out of the way, or you wait patiently until they themselves mess up, or you get a good run coming off the corner? So that's definitely what we're looking there at those tracks. Anything from any of you guys that you want to add about these short tracks?
The chrome horn lingo that might get used at short tracks. Again, we're not looking for intentional wrecking, but it has been known to happen. We've seen it in real life, and we've done it ourselves. Everybody has. Give them that chrome horn, give them that little bit of a bump, saying, "Hey, I'm here." Just try to move them a little bit. But I expect in the broadcast that with terminology, chrome horn for the short tracks will be used quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, continuing on, guys. Sorry, we're trying to go as quick as we got. We still got a little bit here on the agenda that we want to get through with. So the next thing is, and this is why I didn't want you guys talking too much about Keystone being captain. We have two captains in here. We have a returning captain, and we have a brand new captain.
Hey, boss.
Keystone will be the captain for the underdog team as he takes my spot as captain. Keystone, what are you looking for, and what are you expecting for your first season as the underdog's captain?
All right. Honestly, I'm just hoping, I've done it before. I had a season as the Ford Group captain back in, season 2. So it's not necessarily the first rodeo. So
every time you say, I think I just keep saying,
Shut
like
up.
I said.
Just go put your bandana on and be quiet for a minute.
Like I was saying.
Shut up. But
Robbie out there in YouTube land said we sound like a married couple. Go ahead, buddy.
See, I can't even concentrate now. It's just hoping that I can get. See, I can't talk now because I'm trying to stop myself from
Somebody
saying
said
it.
too many Keystones already.
No, I mean.
We're waiting.
I'm just hoping to go out there, have fun with everybody, get a good team together, fight for wins, help each other out, improve everybody on what they're looking to improve, come together as a group, as a team, and as a league, and just keep making everything better.
Absolutely. Cola,
Mil,
this is kind of
I think he had his microphone issue again. I think.
Yeah, he
Cola.
left.
No, he can. He said he can't hear me, so somebody's gonna have to replay this to him, or he's gonna have to turn
I got
on.
it.
Oh,
Oh, you
there he
can hear
is.
me now.
Good.
Okay, so Cola, kind of over to you. You are a returning captain. After this was your first season, you had a couple of your drivers in the points hunt looking for titles. You've got your team got quite a few victories. What are you looking at as we go into season 4.5 and into season 5 for Heat 5? What are your expectations for your team?
Well, I can be straight up honest with you. Everybody knows what I'm going for this season, and that's for the good old ring and the wins. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna put the time and effort in. We're gonna get the wins. We're gonna fight hard for that championship.
So you're expecting a lot of letdowns already. Okay, so
Oh,
I'm
oh,
just kidding, but
oh.
definitely,
Shots
that's
fired.
to me, that's kind of how it goes. Is your first season, you want to build chemistry and kind of build like a basis and get your understanding of what's going on, and then
This will be his first full season, though, Taddy. Remember that?
Yeah, this will be my first full season.
yeah, he took over for Shin Motorsports this last season and turned it into Cola. So definitely, I'm excited to see what you can do as in your second season as a captain, and
No
Keystone
offense,
with
Robbie. I
your
love you,
first
buddy.
season as a smaller team base, not just a manufacturer captain. I'm
Yeah.
looking to see how you can do. As we continue on here, guys, this one I'm very excited to announce and or bring up, but Adam Troutman,
Yes.
the man, we know,
Myth, the
everybody
legend.
knows the story about Adam Troutman and what's happened to him. He took his first steps this last week with his
Badass.
new legs. He was able to stand up. He took his first steps. Everybody here, man, Trout, we're all behind you. Congratulations, man.
We love you, brother.
And it was such an honor for him to be back and be in a chat party with him, being able to talk to him. He came back, made his debut at Pocono this year in the preset Xfinity, still racing for the NOCO guys over there as we were affiliated with him, and just be able to talk with him and communicate. If I would have known that, he wouldn't have been too upset. I would have driven the 2 hours down there to shake his hand and meet him, but I didn't want to interrupt with everything that was going on down there. But get some, Trout. Get some, buddy.
I think their hospital had a rule that you have to have at least 2 teeth to be able to get in.
Well, I'll put my other ones in, so it looks I'll have more than 2.
And I will say it, I loved the shirt that he was wearing in that picture. It says, "I don't need 2 legs to kick your ass," and I believe it.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, just so anybody that doesn't know the Adam Troutman story, I know we have some new viewers out there. He was in a horrific car accident after sustaining multiple injuries. He had to have his legs removed. This was in the fall of last season. So to see him already standing on his own metal legs, I don't know how that works. I mean, it's amazing. You're truly an inspirational hero to a lot of people out there, Trout. Keep up the hard work, and you're going to get there, bud. We all support you.
And every time you talk to him or see him talk or anything, his attitude against everything that happened is just, his
spirits,
attitude
man.
is amazing. And if you have not gone back and watched it, I have gotten a lot of people to do it too. We were going to talk about this a little bit in the future here. This Giggity Get Down, excuse me. We did a Trout memorial to watch 40 cars. His 37, all blue. I don't know how many people I've got to go watch that. They said it brought them to tears. So go back and check that out if you haven't already for the A Trout Memorial out there too. That's how much he means to everybody here in Giggity.
Yeah, and not real. Actually, that was not just Giggity. We had drivers from multiple
Correct.
leagues that Trout runs in that all participated in one thing, and it, even though it was on our broadcast, multiple leagues took part in it, and it was just simply to show the love that the whole Heat 4 community
Racing
has for
community,
this man.
yes.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Okay, guys, as we continue on, we're talking about a little bit of hardship here. You know, we were talking about Trout and his overcoming all odds. At the same time, guys, we have an issue. The COVID-19 is spread throughout this country. It's been miserable. We have a driver, one of our own. He is a captain here. He's been with us forever. Noko and family. Tim, we love you as well. He's gone through some hardships. He had a business. He's lost his business. On the financial end, he's struggling a little bit. He may not want this pointed out. He didn't ask me to point this out. But this coming Saturday, we will be doing a benefit race for him and his family to help them get back on their feet. $5 buy-in to get into the race. It
As
will
a
be at
minimum.
Atlanta. It will be custom setups. It will be the Cup Series, 50% race. Still working on the where, but as for right now, that's what we know. The flyer will be posted here in just a second on the Facebook page, Giggity Racing League Facebook page.
Thank you,
So
Serenity.
everybody check it out. Yeah, thank you to Serenity Racing. Also, there's a flyer for Trout on there, so tune in or check that out on there. But again, this coming Saturday, we don't have a set time for it, but it'll probably be Saturday night. $5 buy-in minimum. It'll get you into the race. You don't get any money back. This is just to help the guy. We're here at Giggity. We're a family, and Noko is nothing other than possibly all of our dads. Just ask NRG, he'll tell you.
Dad.
Big shout out to you, Tim and family. We love you, bub.
Absolutely.
And especially even after I got done racing as a small business owner, when my father passed, working at the barbershop, owning that, this would have been a detrimental time. Support your small businesses, guys. Support them. This is why we're doing this for you, Noko, man. We all love you, and we're going to support you, buddy.
So,
Hold on, I'm trying to post that deal real quick.
yeah, you go ahead with that.
Yeah, there will be a GoFundMe, correct? That's what you talked about at the pre-race when you woke me up at 6:30 this morning. We talked about that.
Yes, I'm.
It was
There,
9:30, Puddin'. Don't
there'll
get
be a GoFundMe. I'm posting a flyer for him on the intimidator of our league, Mr. Noko himself. I'm trying to find his GoFundMe in the chat that he'd sent me. I'll post that in the comment section. That's how you get in there. And then Noko himself will be able to know who has paid and who has not paid. So he'll keep us caught up. And then he himself will have the list of drivers. So definitely get on there. You know what I mean? Even if you can't race and you just want to help, obviously that's more than welcomed as well.
I was just going to say that too. I mean, it is a $5 minimum, but we've seen this in the past before. But even if you aren't able to race and you can donate, that's what that link is for. So be able to participate go throw in, go help out, and help out one of your other family like we've done in the past.
All right. With that said, that GoFundMe will be posted on there here in a little while. I can't seem to find it right now. Noko will get it sent to me again, so just keep tuning in on that, and I'll be posting it here within the next couple of hours. Next thing on subject here, what are we doing today?
The Memorial Madness, baby.
I didn't know your name was Keystone Puddin'. When'd you change it?
Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
Yes.
And by the way, Millsy wants to know when his wedding invite's being sent out to him for our wedding. It's in the mail, man. It's in the Millsy. It's in the mail, Millsy. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
The day I win the championship.
Oh, you're never getting an invite.
Yep.
That doesn't mean they're not getting married. That just means you'll never get an invite.
Shut up, Daddy.
I was just gonna say, well, damn, I'm never gonna get hitched in.
No, today, here shortly, time frame not yet determined. We are going to have our Memorial Madness. We are going
time
to
frame's around 3 o'clock.
Okay, there it is. There's your time frame. 100% night race at Daytona, 160 lap custom setup run. Just in memorial, you know, we were talking about doing a super speedway, so there's nothing cooler than running Daytona at nighttime, being what the day is. So, I mean, y'all
Guys,
come out here.
This is multiple things. This is a Memorial Day race. We're going to try to broadcast it. Unfortunately, we're not going to have an actual true broadcast team where you're going to be able to watch all the cars.
Sorry, guys, I'm driving. That's why.
We're actually going to get one of our drivers. Tune in and you'll see who it will be live when you watch it. But one of our drivers is going to be broadcasting on our YouTube his personal perspective throughout the whole 100% race, drafting, working through there. Just tune in. There will be a little group of people in there as like a broadcast team kind of talking, explaining what's going on. You're going to hear the in-race, pitting together, working together, all of that stuff. It
So
should
if
be
there is
fun.
a slip in language, we do apologize beforehand.
Yeah. This is also a teaser for next season. The 4.5 is this is open to not just. Hold on.
Not just
This
custom
is not
cup
open to
guys,
just
but-
Custom Cup. It is Custom Cup race, but it's not just open to them. It's open up all the way down to development drivers, and you'll see a whole bunch. We're looking at having 40 people, so there probably won't be any cautions. So you might see some carnage, but you're also going to just see some good, fun racing. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. It's Memorial Day. We want to have some good fun, and that's what we're doing it for.
Absolutely. So it should be a blast. You know, everybody loves super speedways, minus a few people. Daddy,
What?
we know how much you hate super speedways.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, they're not
HWH.
real fun. But a lot of drivers have setups for them. You can run together. I like running the high side, which usually isn't fastest, and it gets you really frustrated because not a lot of people work with you up there. But it's all in good fun, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So tune in later. We will have somebody broadcasting live. You will see their live feed on the Giggity Racing League YouTube, as well as multiple drivers will be having their own personal view as well broadcasted. So tune in later, guys. 100% race. It's going to be long. You don't have to tune in and watch the whole thing. Just tune in, support your league. All right, guys. So as we continue, we're coming to the closing end here of the Giggity Get Down Memorial edition. We have a few things we want to play for you. We're going to try to stay silent while they're playing. Obviously, you guys can continue to comment in our comment section, and we really support the love here. Keystone, take it away.
All right. Play something right quick. Being what today is, we started the show with our national anthem.
You have it ready?
So,
I got it ready.
I've got one of them ready. I'm about to play it right now.
Go ahead.
So just
Please remove it, and please remove your hats and stand up.
Yes. My phone will cooperate. There we go. All right.
Sorry, guys, if that was breaking up just a little bit. But yeah, that was taps. I've got goosebumps. I'm speechless. All I have to say is, again, thank you to Kate Taddy. Thank you to everybody. But please do not forget what Memorial Day weekend is about. Taddy's a vet. I, myself, Boomhauer, we know we have a lot of them out there. Bob, he just left right before last year to go to the Army. So thank you to everybody, and thank you who gave all the and sacrificed for everything on Memorial Day weekend.
Before you play what you had there, Puddin', to finish this out, 100%, guys. Memorial Day, I want to make sure that everyone understands what Memorial Day is for. This is not just remembering your time being gone. This is the day to remember those we've lost. And whenever a soldier is lost, they play something at the funeral. It's called 21 Gun Salute. In case you guys have never heard it, Puddin's about to bring it up. We're going to play this for you. Then we're going to go to our closing remarks and end this. But while this is being played, thoughts and prayers to any family member that's dealt with this. Definitely remembering you guys. And without these soldiers that have lost their lives in battle defending our country, we wouldn't be here today to be able to have this conversation. So we love everyone, and go ahead, Bud.
Raise, colors, present, on.
Raising the flag.
Running.
Again, thank you to everybody out there who has, family members or has participated or joined the military. Again, Noko, I was talking about his dad being military. Everybody, thank you guys so much. This is why we are the land of the free, and this is why we are where we are.
Absolutely. So,
Uh,
as we come to an end here, this is the closing remarks section.
I do want to say something right quick, Daddy, if
Oh,
that's
go ahead.
okay. I do have a little something that for the last 6.5 years that I have done. Well, this will be the first time doing anything on there, but there is somebody that I know. William, I know you can't hear me right now, but then again, you can. This is for you, buddy. I love you and miss you. All right.
All right, guys. It's clearly it's a heartfelt day. Everybody in this chat, everybody in this chat party, everyone in the league. We all know somebody that's dealt with a hardship through it. Love and prayers, gone but never forgotten. Love everyone. Again, as we come to an end here, we're gonna do our closing remarks. Cole, is there anything you want to say as we come to an end here?
I have nothing else to say.
All
I'm
right.
just looking forward to season 4.5 and season 5.
All right, over to you, Puddin'.
Again, thank you to all of our service people out there. And I can't wait for 4.5. Thank you to the administrators. Thank you to all of our team captains. I'm excited to see what happens. Please stay tuned anytime I can when we get this organized. Like you did this morning, I will put it on my Facebook. Everybody, Puddin' Knievel. We will be doing a Giggity Get Down a lot more often to keep everybody informed, even throughout the week of the post-race interviews and everything. So great job to everybody, man. Proud of all you guys, and I can't wait to do a little bit of Daytona racing with you guys.
Absolutely. So yeah, you forgot your trademark saying there, Puddin'.
Be safe. Please be safe.
And 5, 4.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was waiting. Yeah, I was.
As we go off air, guys, we're gonna say our bye, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play. We had some technical difficulties, so I'm gonna try on my phone to pull up taps one more time. As we're closing, once it ends, say the bye, and then we'll play taps after, and then once it ends, we'll shut off the broadcast. So go ahead, 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, very, very unemotional. I mean, a very emotional bye.
Got an advertisement.
Steve Hartman has a plan.
Please bear with us just for a second, but we are trying to pay honor and respect. It's breaking up.
Is it breaking up again?
Scoot
Probably
back.
too loud, too close to the microphone.
I think it might be because of the noise canceling headphones.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. I'll try it one time on my phone. Respect to everybody out there. I got goosebumps.
All right, guys. Well, we tried technical difficulties with that song, but on that note, you guys get the point. Yeah, it's cutting in and out again.
On that note, we did try, and again with a very unenthusiastic buy on this. Thanks to K-Taddy for putting this together. Boomhauer, congratulations to you on being a team captain. We've got a lot to hear in the Giggity Get Down. We got it all brought up to date. We will be doing this a lot more often. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.